Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates. Thank you for visiting with me. I hope you'll stick around because I've been working really hard on a lot of primitive and natural inspired Christmas decorations. And I did a few videos a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 videos. And then I've had a little bit of a break from life's interruptions, one of them being a bad cold, but I'm feeling a lot better. And I just wanted to sit down and do a little video because I've missed connecting with a lot of you. I haven't been able to do my live videos in a few weeks either, and I'm sad about that, but I do plan on getting back to doing the lives. So hang in there, ladies, if you've been looking forward to those. I do plan on starting again. And I will give you a heads up so that if you can join me, you'll know when. But thank you so much for your patience. I'll just get started because, you know, as usual, I'm a little all over the place. But I have been so, even since the end of the season last year, excited about changing my Christmas theme and decor to more of a rustic, primitive, natural theme. Excuse me. And so some of the first things I did, and I did a video on these, were the fabric wrapped candy canes. I know that in the many years ago, a lot of the Christmas decorations were made with things found in nature and scraps. So these were the fabric wrapped candy canes that I made. And I have a whole bunch of those. Let me move my napkin here. Let's see. I guess I don't need to pull them all out. But what I am doing today is just getting all of them rounded up so that I can actually decorate the tree. But I'm not going to decorate the tree until Sunday because we'll be spending most of the holiday up until Saturday with family for Thanksgiving. But I'm just happy that I have all my decorations ready to go on my primitive Christmas tree. And I even made my primitive Christmas tree out of tree branches and faux cedar picks and branches. So I'll be really excited to do a video and show you all about that too. So if you've got a moment and you want to just have a little recap on what I've already made, and then I'll show you the new stuff I've created. This is a part, I think this is almost all. I'm not going to dig through and get them all, but look at, I've got a whole bundle of the fabric wrapped candy canes, and this is with some vintage ticking fabric that I tea dyed. And this is a really pretty floral one. But a lot of you said you really liked the fabric wrapped candy canes. So that's one of my vintage, sorry, I've got my YouTube on here. Better turn that down. And then my other one that I showed you, this ended up being really time consuming, but I'm so glad I hung in there and finished them, because I think they're going to look really great on the Christmas tree. But I ended up with 3 long garlands of my faux popcorn and cranberries. And the cranberries are just little red bells that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then I also got pom-pom trim that I snipped off. It was tedious, you guys. And hot glued into clusters to make them look like puffs of popcorn. And I ended up with 3 of those. So I thought I'd show you these again. I stained them with a little bit of tea and yellow food coloring spray so that it would look like buttered popcorn. I don't know in the primitive days if they put butter on their popcorn or not, but I thought it would translate into popcorn better if I did that. And I'm really happy with how these turned out. So that's my primitive garland. These, I don't know how well they translate into a primitive ornament, but it's sort of a nature theme in that, I mean, natural and primitive in that you back when they decorated the tree, they'd put special cards and music out on display. And so this is made with a hymn, sheets from a hymnal. I think it's a Christmas carol. But anyway, I made these on little wooden stars and put some faux greenery and berries and a twine bow on the top. And I've got, I think, 6 or 8 of those that'll go on my tree. I thought those turned out quite nice. I was going to make more, but I think everything I've got now is where I'm going to stop. I've got, I think 8 of these, and that'll be plenty. And then I have the garlands that you've seen. Maybe if you saw my video, you saw these, and you know that I actually took a drill and drilled a hole through each little faux berry and cinnamon stick, just so that I could get them to string on the garland in the direction I wanted them to go. So that was probably the most adventurous part of making these decorations, was using my drill. But then I just strung them on some twine, and I ended up with a really long garland to go on the tree. And the cinnamon still has a wonderful smell, so that'll also smell nice on the tree and hopefully look. And then this, I took the time to a little random string here, sorry, string an entire bag of these mini tiny pine cones. It looks tangled, but it's not as bad as it looks. Anyway, on twine again. I kept them natural, and this is made a really long, it's about 8 feet long garland with just the tiny little pine cones. And you guys, this year was so much fun because Hobby Lobby had a lot of their natural decorations marked down to 75% off from the fall season. So I just purchased them from the fall decor and used them for my Christmas decor. And that's why I think I showed you the corn husk tree, Christmas trees I made, and that made it so economical. I'm sorry, I'm hooked on my little camera stand, which is moving the camera. Bear with me, sorry about that. Let me get that off. So anyway, I hope all of you have been doing well. I'm going to move this, hopefully, to get it better framed. Okay, so this is my long garland, and it'll be all untangled, and I'll get that on the tree. Like I said, I hope you've been healthy and well and approaching the holiday season in high hopes of a good holiday. Then I did these primitive twig stars. Here's the rest of my music note ones. I did put a little faux snow on them too. So I just wrapped these in twine, and I think these are fun. They look like something children might run out in the woods and gather twigs and just put together to embellish their own little Christmas trees. But these I'll put on hangers of some sort and include them on my tree. Then another ornament that I made were these tiny little red mittens, and I will say that it's hard to work with hot glue and felt, because you get it anywhere other than where you want it, the glue shows up, so I do have to kind of clean that up. And then there's another pair. And I just put a little loop to hang them. And this is faux fur from the hat of a Santa hat that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And I just used the fur on my little faux mittens. But again, I gotta clean up the little blotches of glue. I cut these out of, I don't remember what I cut them out of, but they already were perforated for something else. But from a distance hanging on the tree, I think they'll look okay. So I made 2 pair of those, and then I made a Christmas stocking that also clearly needs, it's got some of that faux snow on them. I had packed everything for the primitive tree in one bag, but I'm gonna get that on the tree. And then this is what I ended up with, my little cinnamon ornaments. So that eye fell off. So I have a whole bunch of the little gingerbread men cutouts, and I cut it out of the cinnamon dough. And I have a video on how I did these. And then the cloves I stuck in to represent decorating with gingerbread men with raisins. So I have a whole group of them. And then I strung some of them. But I also strung, let me move these. And these smell really good too because they have the whole cloves, cinnamon, and I put a little bit of ginger in the dough. And then I made a star garland. And I think it's so simple but so pretty. And then I just put little loops here. I'm not sure, I'm going to add something else to the loops, but I'm not sure what yet. I did make my orange slice, dried orange slice garland. But this is what the star garlands look like. Just real simple, real rustic. And they smell very nice. I'm going to add these. I found these at Hobby Lobby and I've used these before. I just like that they're rusted. So can you see they're little metal snowflakes on twine, and they're rusted. And I think those will blend in nicely on my tree. I don't know about the framing. I kind of feel like I'm a little off kilter here, so those will go on the tree. And then this is my dried orange garland. I think it turned out really well. I only used, I think, 3 whole oranges, and sometimes it's hard for me to use real food. I just feel like there's a food shortage in the world, so sometimes using it just to decorate with feels a little wasteful. But I wanted that natural element because this is definitely one way that they decorated their trees. And they're so pretty when you hang them. They're sort of translucent. You can't really tell right now, but after I get them on the tree, you'll be able to see light through them. So there's lots of people making videos with these natural orange slice garlands and ornaments. So I definitely wanted to add that in. I just wanted to try it. I've never tried it before. Some people will put like faux sugar on them because I understand that they used to sugar the fruit as a preservative, and then the children could pull them off and eat them on Christmas morning. So that would make them kind of have a little sparkly element too. So I'm thinking about putting a little bit of glitter, just the white glitter, to make them have a little bit of sparkle. But depending on how authentic I want to be, I may or may not do that. But you'll see, because I'm going to definitely show you either while I decorate or the finished product. I went around getting little lanterns that I could decorate. And this was again one of the fall lanterns, but I purchased it to make a Christmas lantern. And I apologize for the angle, but I think you can see this is the top, and then I just put a pretty velvet bow, and this ribbon again was 75% off in the fall decor, but I'm using this color in the theme in my living room. And then inside I took real birch bark and I wrapped it around the candle just with hot glue, and it just made such a pretty candle to go inside of the lantern. Let's see here, and get the latch. There it is. So if you can see that, it's not going to stay. But anyway, I thought it turned out really pretty. See if I can turn it around and show you. So this is just a fake juniper branch. That I love how the birch bark looks on the candle. So I have 3 lanterns that you'll see in my decor when I show it to you. Oh, and then you guys, I made vintage bells. I didn't know this was a thing last season. It seems like the vintage bells have been a thing for a while, but they sell them in these higher end stores. And I decided I would follow a tutorial and see if I could make my own. And I had so much fun making these. Look at how real they look. They look just like old patinaed, rusty bells. And you want to see how I made them at the Dollar Tree. And I did this one. I came up with this one on my own. I found these little favor buckets in the wedding area, and I guess you put these on the table. They even came with little stickers and ribbons that said thank you, and they fill them with those Jordan almonds. But I took them and I took the handle off, and I just bent the little metal piece under. I spray painted these with 2 different kinds of spray paint. A metallic hammered metal, and the other one I think was rose gold or bronze. And then, you guys, it was a little tedious, but it was really fun. After I spray painted them, no, before I spray painted them, I took hot glue and put little dots on them so that when it dried it would look like little metal nails or fixtures, I don't know what you call them, so that it would look like that was a metal, you know, to hold the bells or build the bells together. And then I took a half of a styrofoam ball, not quite half, I cut it down to fit so that I could get the rounded part. So after I got the little rounded part on top, you have to cut it down to fit. This one's too big. And then after you get your little glued, that looks sort of like the soldered part of the metal, then you spray paint the whole thing. And there's one more step. Then I took Mod Podge and just kind of randomly blotted it on and sprinkled cinnamon, and that's what gave me that rough metal texture. But I don't know about you, but I just love how these turned out. They look really cute. Now, they don't make a beautiful ringing sound. I did make it so the little clapper is functional inside, but it's really more just for look. Then the paper ones, I did the same thing. I assembled a paper cup. I cut it down to size. And then I layered another band of the paper cup by just hot gluing it so that it have a little bit of dimension. I held on to that part of the rim too, so it looked like more of a lip. So if you can see by looking at this one, I put a little piece, either use the whole cup or cut it down so that I could get varying sizes. And then I put more of the hot glue so it looked like the soldered metal and some of the little dots. And then on the top I did the same thing. I had styrofoam balls and I just shaved them down, glued them on, and then spray painted the whole thing, and then gave it that faux rust look with the Mod Podge and cinnamon. And it was really fun. I had to stop myself. And then I also strung some twine through and attached a little wooden bead, if you can see that. And again, they don't clang like the sound of a bell, but they look like bells. And the clapper moves. So, or clacker, I don't know what you... Oh, excuse me, I'll be right back. Okay, well that was real life. I had something on the stove and it was boiling over, so I got it. All's good. Anyway, I just wanted to show you how I got these together, and I'm sorry that was a bit convoluted, but it really is so many of you are so extremely talented. You've either done these or will be able to easily figure it out. But these are my vintage bells, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. Another project I worked on was using recycled boxes, and this was a box that I altered. I think it had Kashi bars in it. Kashi, I think so. Anyway, I used masking tape to make the little cross pieces in the windows, and then I used the birch bark again, and I just trimmed the edges of the roof. Up close they look a bit flawed, but from a distance on a shelf they are so pretty, and I'll try to include what they look like on the little shelf I have hanging on the wall. But this one too has one of the candles in it, so they flicker at night, and I have 3 of these, and they just make the sweetest little village houses. And I'm told if you leave the door partially open, it's a sign to the fairies that they're welcome. So anyway, this was one of the houses of 3 that I made using natural elements. And yeah, then I just cut the bottom so that you could put the candle. So they're a bit rough as far as making. I didn't want to spend an extreme amount of time making them, but I did want them to look nice, and a bit old, so they translate well on a shelf. Lined up together like row houses maybe. I bought these deer, and I'll just put one in the camera for now, and they were on sale, or not on sale, but they were only $5 at the Dollar Tree, and I sprayed this guy with bronze. He's a little too shiny for me, so I'm going to spray him more with the hammered metal too, so that I can kind of dull it down a little bit. But I'm going to have animals in my decor, so I was happy to get him, and then the one with him stands. So I've got 2 of those, and then I've got 2 that are very similar. I think they're made out of a resin kind of material, and they're about half that size. And then what else did I want to show you? I used these round wooden ornaments, and I glued 2 of them together and just cut off the hanger part, and then I glued wooden beads on the bottom, and they make the best little pedestals. And I found these sweet little figurines. This is a pretty bird. It's got little glittery snow on it. And I thought I would just put these on shelves in little random places. And look at my squirrel. He looks like he's made out of a, I don't know, a straw brush or something, but he's so cute. I think he's adorable. And he will go in one of my tablescapes. And I bought this guy last year, and he makes me a little sad because I bought him knowing I would incorporate him into my primitive decor, but Rusty, our dog who's recently gone, passed away, he thought immediately that this was for him. So I never really got my hands on this bear until recently, because Rusty made sure that it was in his collection of toys. But what I thought was so sweet was he didn't destroy it. He will often shake his stuffed animals and pull the ears off and things, but this one, it was almost like he took care of him. And he's pretty much not harmed even a little bit, but it makes me think of my sweet Rusty. So I'm really happy to have the little teddy bear, and he will go in our decorations. And what else? I feel like there's more, but you know what? This video has gone on a bit, so I may need to end it here. I do have these mini little grapevine wreaths. They're real tiny, and I'm going to put some sphagnum moss on the bottom and a little on the edges to make them resemble birds' nests, and I'll have those in my primitive Christmas tree as well. So I'm just kind of glancing over the table here to see if there's anything I forgot. I'm going to put these little faux branch wreaths on the front of my row houses too, I think. Haven't solidified that in my mind yet. Oh, I have one more to show you, and it's this. These were little what do they call them? Wood curl roses, and they come in a package like this. And it just dawned on me that they would stretch out and make the cutest trees. So I don't know if you can see this, but I took them and I stretched them out carefully. And I'm trying not to break it, but it might break, just FYI. But you pull them apart and then you can glue them onto the twigs and the sticks, and that's what I did on this one. This one I wrapped with twine, and I don't really like it as much. But this one I added an extra stick to make it taller. I'm going to tweak these a little bit because this is too long of a trunk, and I don't really think I like the twine wrapped trunk. But I wanted to show you what I did with the little wood curls, wood shavings. Oops. That's okay that that happened, because I can show you what I did. The twigs came from this little bag of twigs that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I just glued them on. Well, this one, of course, is going to break more than I want it to, so I won't be able to show you on that one. Let me see if I can show you on this one. There's one. And then you just take some glue. You don't need a lot. Oh, Jiminy Cricket. That's my cussing, you guys. It's as good as it gets. Anyway, you get the hint. Whenever you try to do something on camera, the likelihood of it succeeding is slim, but it does work. And after you get them on, I think it's because I'm trying to work upside down, but after you get them glued on, they do translate well into cute little trees. And you could mount them on little pedestals like this, or put them alongside some other little houses. Like I have this wooden birdhouse that I'm going to alter, and I think some of these trees next to it on a little pedestal would be really cute. And then I also think, because it's a heart, I don't want it to look like, I don't want to use a heart, but you could just take one of the wreaths and camouflage the fact that it's a heart by just sticking on a greenery wreath over it. But I'm going to play with that a little bit more too. All of this was just to show you all of my primitive decorations that I've gotten together this far, and I am finished. I'm not going to create anymore. I'm happy that it's not Thanksgiving, but all my decorations are created, and now I just get to have the fun part of putting it all together and decorating with it. I wanted to show you this really nice strip of birch bark. I looked this up first because I was a bit concerned, but I read that as long as the bark is loose, you're not hurting the tree by peeling it off, because we have this really nice birch tree where I work. And so what I'm going to do is glue it onto these tiny little cones to make little birch trees, Christmas trees. These are being sold in Hobby Lobby, and oh my goodness, they're so expensive. So I thought I'm going to just go and grab some of the bark off the tree, and I don't know if this is just the time of year that it sheds a lot of bark because it's fall, but there were just like big sheets of it coming off of the trunks. So I was able to get quite a bit. I didn't take too much. I thought, well, if I need more, I can always get more, but I want to use up what I have first. And so I'm just being random right now with this. I thought it'd be fun to see what it'll do. Just layering it up on this styrofoam little cone. They sell these at Hobby Lobby. But I did a lot of cone trees just by twisting a cone out of good quality poster board. So you don't have to have these styrofoam little cones to make cones. It's pretty easy. You just kind of start with a tip and start rolling, and then you hot gluing it is the best option because tape doesn't seem to hold it very well. So when you're making the paper cones, I would suggest using the hot glue. I didn't mean to do this on camera, but I'm just kind of decided to start putzing with it to see. I've had this here to try and I just hadn't done it. I think it's probably better to taper it a little better. Let me pull that back off. Yeah, so it wasn't overlapping like I wanted it to. I think the reason I like doing natural decorations like this though is because everything doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical. It'll still translate natural. Even if it's not perfectly even, because that's how things grow in nature. So I've got this big gap here, but I can always just fill that in. Anyway, I won't do all of this on camera. I'm at 34 minutes. I'm not sure anybody wants to watch this for that long, so thank you so much for joining me and enjoying watching my natural element decorations. I can finish this guy off camera, but you can see where I was going with that. It'd be fun to cut those into real specific shapes too. One lady I saw, she cut all of hers into like half oval shingles and then laid them on, you know, going around like that, and that works really well. And I may do one with a sheet of birch bark in that way. So let me put a few of these back up for you to see. There are my orange slices. There are my stars. Here are a couple of my garlands and my faux candy canes. One of my favorites. And my faux popcorn and cranberries. And my pine cone garland. I guess that's about it. Anyway, have a wonderful holiday if you celebrate Thanksgiving. I hope you're safe and enjoy time with family, and please don't be alone if you can at all help it. I'll be thinking of you all. I love when you leave comments, so please feel free to do so. And I look forward to visiting with you again soon. I promise to come back and show you the finished results of my primitive and natural Christmas decorations. So I will talk to you again soon. Bye.